Hello student, we will see now part 2 of lesson gravitation. In this part 2, we are going to see the keynotes thrust, upthrust, pressure, pressure in fluid, circular motion and gravitation motion, buoyancy, Archimedes principle and its application. The points which we are going to discuss are thrust and upthrust, pressure, factors affecting on pressure, applications of pressure in daily life, buoyancy and buoyant force, factors affecting the buoyant force, Archimedes principle, its application, density and relative density of the object. Now about circular motion and gravitational motion. In circular motion, a force must act on body as its direction of velocity changes. This force is called as centripetal force. When moon revolves around the earth in circular path, gravitational force of the earth provides the centripetal force to the moon for circular motion. When planets revolve around the sun, gravitational force of sun provides centripetal force to the planets. Now about thrust and pressure. Thrust is the force exerted by an object in perpendicular direction to the surface is called as the thrust, and pressure, it is defined as thrust or the force per unit area of the object on a surface. Therefore, according to the definition of this pressure, formula can be written as pressure equal to thrust upon area, that is P is equal to thrust means it is force F upon A. From this we can calculate this thrust and pressure. SI unit of the pressure is Newton meter square, and SI unit of pressure is also called as Pascal, means Newton per meter square. N by m square is nothing but Pascal. Now discuss about the factors affecting on the pressure. Pressure depends on two factors. These two factors are force applied on that object and area of the surface over which the force acts. Since the pressure is directly proportional to the surface area of the object, so pressure increases with increase in surface area and decreases with increase in surface area. So it is inversely proportional, or it is also called as indirectly proportional. Indirectly or inversely proportional means pressure increases with decrease in surface area and pressure decreases with increase in surface area. What are the applications of pressure in daily life? As you know, the base of high building or the heighted building is made wider to spread the weight of the whole building over a large surface area, due to which less pressure acts on the ground. So, this theme or the principle is used in the construction. Another application of the pressure that you can see in everyday life is that the school bags which students are carrying, these are provided with broad straps so that the weight of the school bags fall over a larger area of the shoulder and produce less pressure, hence making it easy to carry with the more load. You are seeing the knives. You are using the knives at home for cutting vegetables and fruit. If you have seen or observed from the nearby, the blades of the knives are made sharp so that on applying the force on it, a large pressure is produced on the very small surface area and it makes easy cutting of the object. Now, what is the pressure in the fluid? Fluids means all the liquid substances, so as well as gaseous substances. Thus, anything that can flow is called fluid. Example: liquid and gases. The molecule of fluid move randomly and collide with walls of vessels. Thus, fluid apply pressure on the walls. Fluid exert pressure in all directions. The force applied by the fluid on a solid which is partially or fully submerged in liquid is called as the buoyant force. Thus, buoyant force is a force applied by the fluid on a surface of the solid in upward direction which is partially or fully immersed or submerged in a liquid. It is called as buoyant force or buoyancy. This phenomenon is named as a buoyancy. Buoyant force acts in a upward direction and it depends on density of the fluid. So what are the factors affecting on the buoyant force? The magnitude of the buoyant force depends on two factors, especially that is volume of the object immersed in the liquid as well as density of the liquid. How and why you can say that some objects are sinking directly in the liquid and some objects when placed in the liquid they are floating over. So answer of this question is that when object is immersed in a water, it exerts pressure over water due to its weight. At the same time, water also exerts upward thrust, that is buoyant force over the object. If the force exerted by the object is greater than buoyant force of water, then object sinks in the water. If the force exerted by the object is less than that of the buoyant force of the water, object floats over the water. Another thing is that the density. If the density of the object is greater than that of the water which is put inside, then it sinks in the water, and if the density of the object is less than that of the water, then it floats over the water. Thus, these are the two factors because of which object which is placed in the liquid float or the sink. You have find that already when the object is immersed fully or partially, it spill out the liquid or the level of the liquid increases, it rises. What is the magnitude of the buoyant force experienced by a body which is placed in the liquid? Is it same in all fluids for a given body? Do all bodies in a given fluid experience the same buoyant force? So, answer of this question, it is stated by the scientist Archimedes. So, Archimedes' principle states that when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Thus, Archimedes' principle explains why the liquid level rises when any object is immersed in a liquid. So again you can see that Archimedes' principle states that when a body is immersed fully or partially in fluid or a liquid, it experiences a upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Which are the applications of Archimedes' principle? Now see that first application is that it is used in designing ships and submarines. It is also used in determining relative density of the substances. Then it is used in hydrometers. These hydrometers are used to determine the density of the liquids and work on this principle. It is also used in lactometers to determine purity of the milk, and also it is based on this principle. It is because of this principle that ship made of iron and steel then also it float in water, whereas a small piece of iron, stone, nail they sinks in it. Now what is the density? Here rho or density, it is the mass per unit volume. So we can write the formula according to the definition of density is that density is equal to mass upon volume, that is mass by volume. Now as you know, the density of a substance is defined as a mass of unit volume and unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. The density of a given substance under specified conditions remains the same. Therefore, the density of a substance is one of its characteristic property. It is often convenient to use the term relative density. So what is relative density? The density of a substance in comparison with that of water is called as relative density. The relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to that of the water. So, according to this definition, we can write the formula as relative density equal to density of a substance upon density of water. It is the ratio of similar quantities. Therefore, it has no unit. Applications of density are: if an object has density more than that of the liquid, it will float over that liquid. If object has density lower than that of the liquid, then it will sink in that liquid. Thus, from the density, we can easily understand the given object will float or sink in the liquid when the relative density of a substance is less than 1, it will float in water, otherwise it will sink in water. From the points which we have discussed during seeing this lesson, you have to try the following questions. So, from these notes, you can easily write the answers of these questions. So, what are these questions? 1. What is buoyancy and buoyant force? Upon what factors they do depend? Why does iron sink in water but float on mercury? Why does buffalo float on the river but not the man? Why does mug full of water appear lighter inside the water? The density of ice is 918 kilogram per meter cube and that of sea water is 1030 kilogram per meter cube. An iceberg floats with a portion 224 liters outside the water. Find the volume of iceberg. So try to write the answers of all these questions.